YouTubers are getting insane, at least maybe the handful of the top 1% of YouTubers on the platform, because MrBeast just came out with a plan to raise money, and the amount of money he's talking about is insane. You can see right here, he is wanting to value his company at $5 billion valuation to raise a couple $100 million. So MrBeast must have some giant plans that he wants to go through to to need a couple $100 million, and valuing, I think it's his entire the empire, right? His entire brand, his media empire, which is like MrBeast Productions, his main channel, all of his side channels, as well as Feastables and Lunchly, is all in this $5 billion valuation, which probably makes sense for the size MrBeast is. The media company he has is absolutely massive, and the return he gets on something like Feastables and Lunchly by advertising through that media is probably ridiculous. So they go over some of the things here in this article from Dexerto. Obviously, $100 million he's raising. This is his $5 billion valuation, his empire. Basically, one of the plans that they say he has is to kind of go and do something more with the big production he had, the Beast games. Talks here, the Squid Game stuff, where people compete different games for a chance to win $10 million. And this, he said, since the finale has aired, the YouTube star has been dishing out a few insights about it all that include the fact that he lost tens of millions of dollars making the show become a reality. So even though Beast Games, I don't know exactly if it was a hit or not. I didn't personally watch it. I know when it first started, there was a lot of negativity against it, but I think as it went on, people started kind of turning more positive and maybe enjoying it more. I think that was kind of the sentiment, but I don't know if it was a massive success, like viewership wise and stuff. If people actually were into it, like maybe some of his YouTube videos that get hundreds of millions of views. But regardless, however it worked, he lost tens of millions of dollars producing that, with Amazon giving him probably $10 million, or I forget the exact, I think it was around $10 million something, to produce the show. That gave him the prize money. It might have been $50 million. They gave him a ton of money. And even through that, the production of Amazon, the game show stuff, airing it out and everything, he still lost millions of dollars. But for investors, hearing that, like, he lost tens of millions of dollars, and what do you want to do with this money? Like, how much more money do you want to lose, right? So, I mean, I know investors definitely want some sort of probably equity in MrBeast's media thing. Like, that is a massive advertising revenue or advertising path that they can take to advertise their own things on there. If they own some equity, they get their foot in the door, they get an easier chance to get in there probably. But it'd be interesting too to see if this changes how MrBeast's channel works, because if he sells so much equity and does this and ends up losing control, that could be catastrophic for his channel if he loses 51%, which I would think he'd probably know better to not do that, to make sure that he keeps the voting control. But it seems that this is a pretty popular thing, that people are actually lining up to give MrBeast hundreds of billions of dollars at a $5 billion valuation. This says, as per the report, Donaldson, which is MrBeast, is looking to raise a couple $100 million in a round that would value him $5 billion. And then the different financial firms and wealthy individuals have already spoken about investing, with apparently MrBeast wanting to expand both his packaged goods and media businesses. That would mean further backing for both Feastables and Lunchly. So that's where we get to hear that it actually does include basically everything that he does. It's not like just the media company, just his YouTube channels, or just the product companies of Feastables and Lunchly. It is everything combined at $5 billion, which I guess would technically make MrBeast the first YouTube billionaire, because if he owns the vast majority of these companies, like, if he owns 50%, that's still over $2 billion, $2.5 billion that he would be worth. That's not liquid and stuff. Obviously, you could have debates whether or not whatever is billionaire, but at that valuation, that makes him the YouTube's first billionaire. And also, backing Feastables and Lunchly, giving them more money. I don't know what more you could want to do with that types of stuff, because I feel like the business model for these guys, for Feastables and Lunchly, is basically, for MrBeast, just use them as a sponsor read in videos because you can get more value from that by having a sponsor read. People go and buy Feastable bars, and you actually make more money converting people that way than you would selling a sponsorship because he gets so many views. He's already talked about this as a problem, but he gets so many views on his channel that a fair price to pay him for a 30-second ad or something in a video is way more than what people are willing to pay or what their budgets are willing to pay for a social media slot, even though the eyeballs and the reach you could get would be far greater in a MrBeast video than even something like the Super Bowl. So he has trouble finding sponsors that way because obviously people say we just don't have the budget for that. So instead he puts a Feastables ad in there, converts people that way, and will actually end up making more money. So it's curious to me why you would need more money for these parts, because I feel like they should be pretty cash flow positive. They should be, making money, probably profitable, and then putting them in these spots, it just makes more money for you. So, I mean, maybe there's expansion that he wants to go on there, or another route or something. I don't know what you could need the money for, but probably a very, very tiny amount of the money he's raising would go towards these. They're probably just included because, honestly, an investor probably isn't interested in just the media business and you're going to leave out all of your other ventures. They want everything packaged together so they can get a piece of every pie, not a piece of one, and then watch the other one grow. But yeah, MrBeast apparently raising hundreds of millions of dollars, $5 billion valuation, YouTube's first billionaire. Kind of insane to see everything going down with him. This just goes into more of like his chocolate company, talking about like scaling Feastables. He speaks about the sourcing for chocolate and how, he's trying to go ethically sourced, and these other guys like Hershey and stuff doesn't, and he's trying to change the game and do all this. So maybe that's why he needs more money too, because the industry that he's in, like that, like Hershey's, doesn't care. They don't care. They're not ethically caring like this. So they can get supplies for cheaper, and then either make more money or charge less for the chocolate bar so that they can actually get in front of people. So maybe that's a different thing to try and even the odds there and try and make it so that maybe they can try and get sourcing a little bit cheaper, but keeping things ethical, or, bring prices down and try and take more market share, maybe something, maybe there's some sort of strategy there. I could see that being a thing that they want to do, because that's the money makers really, is the Feastables and Lunchly. The product brands is where MrBeast is going to make a lion's share of his money, because the YouTube channel and the media business has basically a cap on it. Because it's a YouTube thing, he gets more views than the Super Bowl, or similar views to the Super Bowl, but you can't go to advertise and say, we'll give you a 30-second ad read in this, and it's gonna cost you $3 million. Most people will look at it and say, $3 million for a YouTube video ad? Yeah, we're good. We'll stick to the Super Bowl. And it's like a traditional mindset, even though the YouTube video one might be better. It's forever, and these videos get evergreen, or kind of evergreen. They continue to get views over time, and you might be able to get, you definitely be able to get a better reach on a MrBeast video than the Super Bowl, really. But I don't know. Maybe, maybe we'll get there one day. I think that's what's holding people up. But either way, YouTube's first billionaire, raising just a couple $100 million. That's all he needs. That's gonna do it for this video. As always, make sure and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.